Jai Hind, my dear students. Today in this video lesson, you are going to learn about the second family in accounting ratio. Solvency ratio is the topic we are going to discuss today. You know, the meaning of the term solvency indicates ability of the firm to repay its liabilities. Solvency ratio shows ability of the firm to repay its liability. I think you can recall now what is the concept of liability and what are the different types of liabilities are there, and also how we can overcome these liabilities. So, my dear students, what is solvency ratio? Solvency ratios are calculated to identify the ability of the firm to repay its debt. So it shows the ability of the firm or the business to service its debt. Within how much days they are repaying the amount of debt, maybe long-term debt or short-term debt. So different ratios included in solvency ratios are debt equity ratio, total asset to debt ratio, proprietary ratio, and also the last one, interest coverage ratio. Interest coverage ratio, total asset to debt ratio, proprietary ratio, and the debt equity ratio. I would like to give a suggestion. The interest coverage ratio is an important area from which 4 mark questions are asked in the previous board exam. So let us learn one by one. First one is debt equity ratio. You know the meaning of the term debt and equity. Debt indicates the ability of the firm to debt means the total amount of long-term debt, which includes the total of long-term borrowing plus long-term provision. Long-term borrowings plus long-term provision. So most ideal debt equity ratio is 2:1, and the equation for calculating the ratio is long-term debt divided by shareholders fund, or long-term debt by equity, or debt by equity, and it shows the relationship between debt and equity of the firm. This ratio shows the relationship between the link between how it is interconnected, related, correlated, debt and equity. Let us learn this concept by solving this problem. From these three values, total asset 15 lakh and the current liability 6 lakh, total debt 12 lakh, we have to find out the ratio, debt equity ratio. We have to find out the ratio. So, in this solution, it is very clear. Just equation is written here, debt equity ratio is equal to debt by equity. We are finding the value of equity because the amount of equity is not there in the question directly. So how we can find out the value of equity? Total asset minus total debt. The values of total asset and total debt is there in the question. So we can identify the value, we can calculate the value of equity using the equation total asset minus total debt. 15 lakh minus 12 lakh is the equation you have to use. So you will get 3 lakh as the value of equity. Then we can directly apply in the equation debt equity ratio is equal to long term debt divided by equity. And to find out the value of long-term debt, we can use the equation long-term debt is equal to total debt is given in the question, also current liability given. So total debt minus current liability, that means 12 lakh minus value of current liability is 6 lakh. So the value of long-term debt will be 6 lakh. Then we can directly apply the equation debt divided by equity. So debt value is 6 lakh divided by the amount of equity is 3 lakh. So we will get the ratio 2. and the equation, when we present it in the proportion, it will be 2:1. So the value is 2. That indicates it is a good sign. The firm is able to pay the liability within the available amount of shareholders fund. So let us learn one more problem. Here a lot of informations are there. Revenue from operation is given there. Cost of goods sold is there. Other current asset is there. Current liability value is there. Paid up share capital, debenture, loan from bank. All that, debenture redemption reserve, closing inventory, all these things are there. But we have to take only important data. So how we can find out the value of equity and how we can find out the value of the ratio of the value of debt equity ratio. Actually, we need only the amount of share capital. Paid up share capital is there, 1,70,000, and debenture. When we find out the total of debenture, loan from bank, we will get the value of the debt. So it's very simple to solve this problem. Long-term debt, it is the total of debenture plus loan from bank. So 30,000 plus 70,000, we will get 1 lakh. And the equity, actually there is an item, additional item we have to adjust because that's a reserve. So to find out the value of equity, paid up share capital plus debenture redemption reserve is there. So 1,70,000 plus 30,000, we will get 2 lakh as the value of equity. Then we are directly applying in the equation. Remember, every time the equation debt equity ratio is equal to debt divided by equity. So 1 lakh is the value. 1 lakh is the value of debt divided by value of shareholders fund is 2 lakh. So that is the value 0.5 is getting. So 0.5:1 is the debt equity ratio. So a lot of problems are there in your textbook. You can solve all that problems, variety, application level, hot thinking questions are there. Please solve it to find out and to enrich your knowledge regarding debt equity ratio. So as a nutshell, I would like to recall, it is a ratio which shows the relationship between debt and equity. It is used to find out whether the firm is able to repay the amount of long-term debt using the money of shareholders fund. Let us learn the next concept in the area of solvency ratio, proprietary ratio. Proprietary ratio, that indicates, or this ratio is calculated to identify or to verify whether the firm is able to repay the proprietor's fund. Proprietor's fund. Proprietor's fund means owner's fund. You know, owner's fund means equity. So normally the owner's fund is repaid using or by selling the assets available in the hand of the firm. So this ratio shows the relationship between the net asset, total asset value, and shareholders fund. Remember the equation, shareholders fund divided by capital employed or net asset. The amount of total asset is used to repay the owner's fund. Normally it is happening at the time of winding up of the organization. At that moment, the total asset will be sold to repay the amount of the owner. So let us learn this concept by solving a problem. From this information, keep in mind we need the value of net asset or the total asset and the total of shareholders fund. And from this, the shareholders fund we can calculate by using equity share capital is there, preference share capital is there. We have to find the total. General reserve amount is there. Balance in statement of profit and loss amount is there. We have to add these all values. And the debenture, trade payable, outstanding expense. Debenture is a long-term debt. Trade payable and outstanding expense is a short-term debt. These values, the total of all the item is the total of net asset or capital employed. How we can find out the total asset? Just listen my words. So the equation we can frame like this also. Shareholders fund divided by total asset is the summary form of equation. But as per the question, we can frame the equation from the data, from the information available in the question. Equity share capital plus preference share capital plus general reserve plus balance in statement of profit and loss divided by total asset. Again, equity share capital, preference share capital, general reserve, balance in statement of profit and loss, debenture, trade payable, outstanding expense. These are the things we have to use in the calculation of total asset. So we are directly applying in the equation. Then the amount we are getting, the proportion, it is what? 0.58 is to 1. Sometimes if we want to represent the ratio in percentage, we can multiply that value with 100. So we can change the equation shareholders fund divided by total asset into 100. So the ratios can be expressed in a form of proportion like 0.5 is to 1 or as a percentage 58.33 as a percentage also we can represent the value. So my dear students, it's very important to remember this ratio. Keep in mind the equation shareholders fund divided by total asset and you can score maximum 4 marks plus 2 or 3 objective type question will be there from this area. So don't forget what are the items we will take in the calculation of these items. Another important ratio is total asset to debt ratio. Total asset to debt ratio. This ratio also we used it to find out whether the firm is able to repay the long-term debt or long-term provision using the amount of total asset. So this ratio indicates the relationship between total asset and debt. The ratio measures the extent of the coverage of long-term debt by asset. Whether the firm is able to repay the debt using the amount of total asset by selling the assets value. And equation is total asset divided by long-term debt. We can use the equation to calculate this ratio, total asset divided by long-term debt. And the higher ratio indicates the assets have been mainly financed by the owner's fund and long-term is adequately covered by asset. We are getting a higher value, that is a good sign. We can cover the long-term debt using the total amount of asset. We are going to solve one problem to learn or to get the hands-on experience how to calculate this ratio. Same question, same values, how we can calculate the ratio. So from this question, we have to find out the total value of asset in the top. So we are taking all the items. So we will get the value of total asset and only one item is there in the question. Just look at that. Debenture is the only item, 75,000 is the only item to find the value of debt. So debenture is there, 75,000. So total amount will be divided by, total value of asset will be divided by only one item, the value of debenture. We will get 4:1. 4:1 as the ratio of total asset to debt ratio. That means we have enough amount of asset to pay the amount of long-term liability, rupees 75,000. I hope it is very clear for you, my dear students. Please solve maximum problems from the textbook. And any doubts regarding the calculation, you can ask through the comment box also. Yet another question. It's a small balance sheet for 1 year. Shareholders fund is there 4 lakh. Reserve and surplus is 1 lakh. Long-term borrowings that we have to consider 1,50,000. value of long-term borrowings. And the total asset, it will be the total of fixed asset, non-current investment and current asset. So 7 lakh is the total value of asset, and only one item is there as long-term borrowing. Let us see the solution. So total asset will be the total of all that three items: fixed asset, non-current investment and current asset. So it will be a total of rupees 7 lakh, the total of all assets. And debt means only long-term borrowings, that is 1,50,000. Total asset to debt ratio will be 7 lakh total asset divided by 1,50,000. So 4.67 is to 1. 4.67 is to 1. Before calculating, dividing that value also, it is very clear now. We have rupees 7 lakh as asset to repay the long-term debt rupees 1,50,000. So that is also a good sign of progress of the firm. They can also overcome the liability using the amount of asset. My dear students, moving to the last ratio in this category. Lot of times CBSE asked the questions from this area. Interest coverage ratio. Interest coverage ratio. What is interest coverage ratio? So in the previous areas, three ratios shows the ability of the firm to pay a long-term debt. It is also like a long-term debt. Every year we are paying interest, fixed rate of interest to the debentures, to the bank loan, and for public deposit. And this ratio checks whether the firm is able to pay the amount of interest every year. And you know from which amount we are paying the amount of interest? From the amount of profit available for the firm. So every year we are paying the interest, fixed interest charges. We are meeting that from the amount of net profit. And the equation used to calculate interest coverage ratio is net profit before interest and tax divided by fixed interest charges. Fixed interest charges means interest on long-term debt, interest on debenture, bond, interest on bank loan, interest on public deposit, etc. And this ratio shows the relationship between fixed interest charges and the amount of net profit before interest and tax, before paying the interest and tax. Let us learn this ratio by solving a problem. So a small question, net profit after tax is there 60,000, 15% long-term debt is there 10 lakh, tax rate is 40%. Just look at that. The amount given is net profit after tax. After tax means after paying the amount of tax. You know, my dear students, tax is paid at last after meeting all the expenses. From the remaining amount of profit, we are paying tax every year to the government. And actually we need, as per the equation, we need net profit before interest and tax. Net profit before interest and tax. But in this question, it is given net profit after tax rupees 60,000. So we have to think critically how we can solve this problem. We have to find out the values of net profit after tax. We can convert it into net profit before tax. Just look at this. So the values as per the question, net profit after tax is 60,000. What is the rate of tax? It is 40%. It is 40%. That means after paying the 40%, the remaining 60% is 60,000. From some amount, we have paid 40% as tax to the government. Maybe we can take as X. Remaining it is 60%, isn't it? So after paying the tax, the net profit is 60,000. Then how we can find out? We can find out the value of net profit before tax first. Net profit before tax can be calculated using this equation. Net profit after tax into 100 divided by 100 minus the tax rate. Once again, net profit after tax into 100 divided by 100 minus tax rate. Just apply the values. 60,000 into 100 divided by 100 minus 40 means 60. So we will get 1 lakh. Before paying the tax amount, the net profit is rupees 1 lakh. So just imagine, from 1 lakh, we have paid 40% tax. So 40,000 will be deducted from 1 lakh. So it is very easy now. The remaining is 60,000. And we have to find out what is the fixed interest charge as per our question. As per our question, 15% long-term debt for rupees 10 lakh. That is the amount of debt for which we have to find out, calculate the value of interest. So interest on long-term debt, 15% of rupees 10 lakh, that is 1,50,000 is the amount of interest paid during the year. And we want to find out net profit before interest and tax. Net profit before interest and tax. So what we have to do? We have to add back the amount of interest also. Then only we will get the value of net profit before paying interest 1,50,000 and tax 40,000. So again, with rupees 1 lakh net profit before tax, with that amount we are adding the amount of interest. So we will get the total of 2,50,000. Then we can directly apply the equation. Interest coverage ratio is equal to net profit before interest and tax divided by interest on long-term debt. So 2,50,000 is the amount of net profit before interest and tax divided by 1,50,000 is the amount of interest, and we are getting 1.67 times. It is also a good sign for the firm. It is also a good sign for the firm to identify the value of interest coverage ratio. They are able to pay the amount of interest because 2,50,000 is there as profit to pay the interest of rupees 1,50,000. I hope it is very clear for you. The different ratios we are learning in solvency category are debt equity ratio, total asset to debt ratio, proprietary ratio, interest coverage ratio. All these ratios are used to find out the ability of the firm to repay its liability. My dear students, please kindly do maximum problems at home and enrich your knowledge. Any doubt regarding solving any problem, you can ask directly through comment box, and you will get a great experience regarding this video. And we will continue with the third category of accounting ratio in the next video lesson. To know about the updated videos, please subscribe my channel and kindly press the bell icon, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. And thank you for the day. Bye bye.